We should like literally have somebody do that verbal countdown every time.
4, 3, 2.
Every time we open this up.
Down.
Are you ready?
Hey, you're off your deathbed, it looks like.
I'm off of it, but I still sound like death rolled over.
Yeah. I know we haven't seen you in a couple weeks, so
Yeah,
kind of,
I know,
I wonder
it's
if you were
been
still
crazy.
with us.
Barely.
We had people asking about episode last week, and I was like, well, somebody's sick.
Yeah.
They didn't want to just listen to me talk by myself probably for an hour, so.
Yeah.
It's got the man flu.
Hey, that's the worst flu.
That's worse.
Well, while I was away and sick, you were uploading some Lone Star videos. You were away in Texas. How did all that go about?
It went really well. So it's a nice event, very much Sky Wars-esque. You kind of think of it that way. You get that kind of feeling, right, of the event because of the structure of it. It's a really, really nice area, nice site where it's shot at. It's really out in the country, like it's a couple miles on gravel road country-wise. So
Wow, okay.
it's not readily accessible. Like, Sky Wars is fairly close to St. Louis, there's a lot of hotels, a lot of housing. This is literally in the middle of nowhere, Texas, where you don't have a lot of those amenities nearby. So it really is. It's a tough place to get to. So the amount of people they do draw is really kind of cool because like I seen on Facebook they posted like 6,000 people in attendance. So
Wow, I mean,
which is amazing for being really kind of a distance from any major city. Like there's some smaller towns out in that area, but a major city like Fort Worth, you're like an hour and a half away or something like that. So they're really quite a ways out there, but they did have a really good turnout. I mean, it was phenomenal as far as the turnout from the public for this type of event and the support. And it's my first time there, so it's the first time to be able to kind of see kind of the site and how they kind of operate. And so it's really kind of a up and coming type of event still. Obviously, I think the Stacys are amazing people. Like the hospitality. I mean, not enough nice things that you could say about them. When they go into this type of event, and what they put on.
yeah.
The site's really laid up it's on their own land and their own pastures that they use for cattle, and so they just move all the cattle out for the event, and all the parking's in one pasture, and all the fireworks are across the gravel road in the other pasture.
Do they have any Highland cattle and your wife just went berserk?
They had some babies.
Did they?
By the time we were there, all the people around had kind of they had kind of migrated back away from the kind of the main area. So
Okay.
But there was a lot of cattle out there. She got to see some as we were driving, for Airbnb and stuff, because Airbnb was like 30 minutes away. So
Wow,
we had like sheep and cattle by our Airbnb. It was kind of cool.
So you didn't come home with a cow though, right?
We did not come home with any cows.
Okay.
No,
All
no.
right.
She would have if we would have found one. I'm sure she would just loaded it up in the back of the truck and brought it home. But it wouldn't matter if it had a tag on it, belonged to somebody. But
GPS tracker.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Come get it.
Air tag.
Right? Yeah. So Friday night they have their demo in Blind Pyro. A nice, refreshing, only 4 demos. So you had a fairly short demo,
Cough.
right? And there was like 4 blind pyros. The last one didn't get off the ground. They had some issues out in the field that they couldn't get it up. A couple of them had some audio issues. There was fireworks with no audio to start, but they kind of paused and regrouped and got them up. And so one of those situations again, I think like where Skywars has kind of gotten to where you have way more product than you really need for a blind pyro.
Yeah.
I would like to see all these blind pyros scale back a little bit because you really take the artistry out of a lot of it. I think it's just you have a whole bunch of product, just throw it all up.
It's just sky puke.
It is. It's really like a whole 5 minutes of sky puke because there's just so much product to try to burn through. And so I really would like to see some of these blind pyros really kind of scale that back a little bit because I want to see more of the creativity of the shooters, right? And how they're using the limited product they have versus they just have an endless supply. So overall, I mean, blind pyro shows were pretty good. I mean, I weren't like I wasn't completely like blown away by some of the stuff I've seen, but I mean they were still really good. They had all day to set up, and so they were good shows. Saturday was a good day of setup and prep, and super dry down there like it has been in a lot of places. They had done really good with the field ahead of time. They had brush hogged it several times, ride and mowered it, so it was really cut short. Ground up. So what fires there were, which there was abundance amount of fires during shows.
Were there?
They were able to get them out quickly because the grass was short. There wasn't a lot there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
there was probably 30 or 40 water cans I seen piled up in one spot. They had like 6 people that were like on the field during the shows. That as soon as the shows were ended, they were out there putting fires out. They had fire trucks off the side and UTVs that were running out there. And so the fire control between shows went really smooth. It was amazing to see how quickly they got the fires out to keep the night moving. But yeah, it was like one spark and you got a giant fire. So
how did they handle like the wire management?
It was, I think overall there wasn't a lot of impact to other shows.
Okay.
There was a time or two you would see something go off that clearly was from some else's show.
Yeah.
I don't, and some of that may have been fire related. Some of that just may have just been, the lanes might have been a little tight. Maybe had something that kind of jumped over.
Yeah.
But for the most part, they did a pretty good job about keeping the fires from spreading and I didn't hear of any equipment that got burned or anything like that. So, people were pretty well prepared for the fires and making sure their stuff was kind of upwind, essentially. Yeah. So overall, those were kind of, would say that the biggest thing there. They had a lot of food trucks at the event. They had different vendors and stuff and stuff. They had some raffles, and it was really kind of really a good time of there. And they had like a lot of exhibition shells, and so one of the cool aspects, because I was helping Zach with the finale show, so we were doing the Cobra Tech thing, and so I got to spend a little bit of time up by the shooter's desk. And during the middle of the night, they have all these exhibition shells. So they have like 8s, 10s, 12s, 16s, like all these shells. And they have all the kids from the foster's home get to come up there and they get to fire the shells themselves from the remote. And so they would read off what the shell was, who it was sponsored by, and then the kid would give what their name was, and they would push the button and watch the shells go off. And
that's really awesome.
Being able to
That's
actually
cool.
sit up there and on the stage next to them where they're chanting each other on and like, hey man, like your turn to go and cook, and let him cook and push the buttons, and right. And it was for them amazing time. They absolutely loved it. Like we take that stuff for granted, right? You push a button and watch an 8-inch shell go up. It's nothing to us. All right. Like we see it all the time. These little kids, they push a button, they watch the shell go up, and it makes their day, it makes their whole week, their whole year. I mean, so they absolutely loved being able to do that. And so all the people who went into sponsoring those shells made all that possible for all those kids to be able to sit there and push those buttons and watch those shells go up, and really enjoyed it, and egging each other on, and making sure that each and every one of them got an opportunity to shoot something. And so that was a really cool experience.
Yeah.
To sit there and watch that happen, right there in front of you. And so that was great. It really gives you an idea of, all this money they raised from that is going to those kids and those foster's homes and helping them, take care of all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So really cool. I
Yeah,
think all
that
the
is
shows
awesome.
in general were pretty good.
Okay.
All the pro-am shows, I believe they all got off without any issue.
Good.
I think there was a couple little audio things here and there, kind of talking about the audio. I think that's the one thing that they need to invest some more resources into is better audio for Lone Star. At time, the fireworks were much louder than the audio, and you couldn't hear the audio very well at times. And
Okay.
that wasn't like Skyward. You have these giant, towers set up of speakers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously not paying for it, so it is donated, right? So you're going to get what you can donated wise. But definitely, I would say that was the one downside to the experience, was I think they could have had better audio, more audio. We didn't get a chance to do sound checks beforehand. The audio guy was a little bit frazzled and running all over the place, and they had a live band beforehand, and we went straight from the live band right into introductions and all that kind of stuff. And so we never got a chance to do audio tests. So really it was what it was. And so some teams, I think there was a little bit of struggle here and there to making sure they were on the right channel. Audio volumes were loud enough.
Yeah.
For the final show, Zach was on the audio guy pretty hard, riding pretty tough to make sure we had the audio volumes, that we were on the right channel and all that kind of stuff.
That makes sense.
Because Zach's very, very, very particular about that kind of stuff. So, I think all the pro-am shows went really good.
Good.
They do the audience voting versus like judge voting.
Okay.
So I think when you script a show there, you have to keep that in mind. Because at Sky
So you're
Wars,
not really necessarily scripting it for the pyros.
correct. So like at Sky Wars, you actually have pyros that are judging you, right? So there's a lot more technical in your scoring.
Yeah.
When you're at Lone Star, the audience is scoring, and so you want to script towards what you think the audience would like the best, I think. And
Yeah.
ultimately,
So that would make sense to me why there was a lot more like country and Texas themed songs that were played.
Yeah, and I think
they
just
were
the
trying
overall,
to appease the local crowd.
yeah, I think the overall script of how you script the show and the product you put in the air. I mean, fans love Sky Peak. They love lots of product in the air.
Yeah.
I think that kind of reflected a lot in some of these shows. You've seen a lot more product in the air and less slow spots, I think, and maybe not as technical. Like you're not hitting, you see some crazy party music where you're hitting like all the beats and all that kind of stuff. I think there were some opportunities. So from a technical aspect, I probably would have scored all the programs a little bit lower just because I just don't feel like, they scripted more towards the audience. And the show that won, obviously, to me was, I think they had the best soundtrack, which I think led towards the audience voting for them more than I think some other shows.
Okay. Yeah,
I think
that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it was very much influenced by, I think they had a great soundtrack. You could sing along to it. People were up, people were dancing and having fun during their show. And they're the ones ultimately won there at the end, the J team.
Yeah, very good. Very good.
And then we had the 1-3 shows. They were all phenomenal shows. Beth Stacy, she did one of the 1-3 shows.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal.
Yeah, very good.
Then I think Adventureland Fireworks, I think did one of the 1-3 shows as well. I think their show was, they struggled in the field to get set up with enough help. So literally with what we watched them happen during the week, getting their show set up and be able to actually get it off, it was very cool to actually see the show get off, and it was an amazing show. It was really good. And then Zach did the Hubrix Great Plains Pyro. He did the finale, and the Cars team. So I'm sure you've seen some videos out there. He's posted it. Fire Cat 8 posted it out there.
Yeah.
Again, he did a Cobra Tech show again. So I believe this is our largest Cobra Tech show to date. So 2,100 Qs-ish, 2,200 Qs.
Wow,
so,
okay.
I think he had 43 Fire Tech mods, and we had like 60 Cobra channels out there. So a mix of 18s and 36s.
Yeah.
So, and again, I mean, we've got it kind of mastered down to the flawlessly at this point, just, running your time code into both remotes and, letting them cook. And
yeah,
I think we've got more than a proven test for a big show in a couple years.
What show is that? No.
You'll have to wait and see, I guess. But I think that we've gotten it to a good spot where it's working out great, and I think there's some opportunities I think there for us to kind of grow on that. And I know I talked to Sean Hodder a little bit at Lone Star, and he wants to get in on it too and make it a 3-way with Mongoose.
So like a Moncotech?
Yeah, or Goose Cobra Tech or something like that.
Goose. Okay.
Cobra Tech Goose. I don't know. Cobra Goose Tech. I don't. He wants to get on the 3-way too. He feels left out. So we're gonna have to come up with something where we can do. We can get him involved in there.
Well, on that note, let's hit this intro and get this sucker on the road.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Pyro Unleashed. Tune in weekly as Donnie and David discuss all things pyro, from the business aspect of the industry to technical tips and mesmerizing pyro designs. On Pyro Unleashed, we invite cutting-edge experts to the podcast to discuss their role in making this industry a success. So, sit back and unleash your inner pyro with us.
Speaking of 3-way, we have a guest tonight.
We do have a 3-way guest tonight.
I don't know that's how I want to be introduced there, Donnie.
So is this
what
episode
a fitting guest to have on for this 3-way too.
Isn't this episode 13?
It is episode 13.
I think we're 13. Yeah, with another 3 in our number. I mean, 13. Got Halloween coming up.
Got the man. That's funny. Anyhow,
Is there a gas leak in your house, Donnie?
we got Jonathan McCormick with Cobra. How's it going, buddy?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Good, man. I've been looking forward to this episode for a mighty long time. I have to tell you.
There's been a lot in the works since PGI to get us where we are. Get him on here at this point.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. What is that? Just 2 months ago?
I was just saying, can you believe that's been over 2 months already?
Yeah, it's hard to believe it's only been 2 months, and then it's also hard to believe that it's
already
been 2 months.
Yeah,
both ways.
So tell us a little about who you are, and we'll start with who you are, and go from there.
Yeah, so I'm Jonathan McCormick. I'm the sponsor relations manager for Cobra Con 2025. I'm a Cobra user. I'm a licensed lead for American Fireworks as well. Helped out on some pretty big shows this year as a go-to tech. Helped you guys at PGI, American's closing
Appreciate
show.
it. Thanks again.
You're very welcome. And then I was out at NFA for the closing show there. American Fireworks had the opportunity to set that one off. So pretty busy year on top of just a regular shoot schedule and doing this work for Cobra as well.
And it's almost like you have a normal job you have to work too on top of all this, right?
Yeah. So full time, I'm the director of Veterans Affairs at Marshall University here in West Virginia. Luckily, it's a 8 to 5 job, and got plenty of time in the evenings and a lunch break that I usually work through doing other work. So
Is that how it goes?
Just doing it all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So,
I mean, how did Jonathan get involved in fireworks as well? I mean,
well, I won't bore everybody with what seems to be the same story of it started young, but it did. My earliest memory of fireworks is going to Disney as a kid and being upset that we didn't make it back to Magic Kingdom in time for the fireworks on our last night. And my dad was like, "We've seen them every night. Why are you upset?" And I was like, "Because you said we could see them tonight." Like, but born and raised in West Virginia, and up until, be 8 years ago now, 2016, it was only Safe and Sane. And then on top of that, we couldn't sell them either. So like Ohio, who just made it legal last year, but they've been selling fireworks. That was always the thing, like hop over to Ohio, buy some fireworks, bring them back.
Yeah.
So you still had access where you didn't have that in West Virginia. So 2016, we opened up to aerial consumers and all the good stuff. And I instantly became the guy in my neighborhood that sets off the most stuff. By 2019, I actually had people start dropping it off on my doorstep. And then 2020, with everything being shut down, that was really when it took off for me. A bunch of neighbors were like, "Hey, can we help out? Like, let's make this thing as big as possible. There's nothing to go do." Like, so I was like, okay. So then by 21, I was like, I got to find a better way to do this than buying retail. And I want to be able to watch it myself, because I was hand firing and fusing everything together. And so stumbled upon, I won't say I stumbled upon Cobra. I spent a lot of time researching every firing system I could. Ended up going with Cobra. And then in 23, Scott had put out a few months before Cobra Con on Facebook asking if anybody wanted to come help them out. While they are a large company in the sense of firing systems, they're still a very small company, and to be put on an event like that, it really stretches their manpower.
Yeah.
And, so he put out an invite, free ticket to Cobra Con. Anybody that wanted to help out, I sent him an email. We had a few conversations. He brought me out, and as they say, the rest is history.
Yeah.
And I mean,
I'm glad he did.
That's how I got to know you. I mean, that's how I met you.
Yeah,
I met you at Cobra Con.
23.
Yeah. And then you invited me out said, if you can find a way.
Yeah, if you can get your way out, I got a bed you can sleep in. Yep.
Yeah. So that's a big, like, people that want to ask me, like, hey, how do I get more involved? And, you got to be open to volunteering to help out. Nobody's getting rich in this game anyways. So
nobody's getting rich.
Don't think that you can just jump in and be at the top of the pile. And put in the work in the off time. It's one thing I tell people is take time to study other firing systems, study other shows, techniques, setups. You can learn a lot even when you're not on the field. So the more you educate yourself, the better help you're going to be when you get that opportunity to go out.
Sure.
Most definitely. So I know you touched on it a little bit, but what is your role at Cobra? And you want to expand on that just a little bit more, brother?
Yeah. So, helped with Cobra in 23 at Cobra Con and 24, and helped them out at PGI in 23. And you guys know Dan Weary, our business development manager. So he is also doing the software development for our new platform Elevate, which Scott's talked about a bit, and we'll start rolling out later this year and into next year. And so that takes a lot, he's building this platform from the ground up, and he's also running Cobra Con. That was what he came on, was to completely run that event. And so as a help to give him more time to work on Elevate, they brought me on as sponsor relations manager and learning session coordinator.
Yeah.
So I'm in charge of getting our sponsors, getting our shows, and developing our learning curriculum for all of our sessions that we wanted to offer. And so it also gave a different perspective too. Like I said, I'm a shooter for American. I've been on some of these shows like with you guys as well.
Yeah.
So bringing a more active perspective to the event as well of what are people looking for.
Yeah. And I know I've mentioned this to you, like, and again, not that everybody at Cobra doesn't know what they're doing with, like the event, but having somebody like you there that, you have boots on the ground, you have your hands and, you're dabbling in the pyro, you know what it's like to be out on the field, you know what people want to see, you know what people want to do at an event as a pyro, and you can bring that to Cobra and help elevate the
Yeah, Scott did really good with that branding. I find myself using that word a lot. It'll be easy to get it to fit in, and everything's changing. I mean, I've not made it out to Sky Wars in person yet, but just from afar, just watching the way the shows have developed, what you might have wanted to teach a session on 3 years ago might not be as relevant now.
Correct.
The use of lifts and the creativity with that has just gone through the roof. And
I happen to know that there's a class on that.
And
we'll get on that in a little bit.
We're going to have a class on that. Yeah. So, yeah, but that's something, a lot of people, especially starting out, they're not thinking that, like, oh, that's something, So
it might not be as expensive as you think it is to get into that. Yeah. Or it might be really expensive.
Or
just
it might be really
on how you want to do it.
Where you're renting the lift from.
Exactly. What are you telling them you're doing with it?
Minimal burn marks, I promise.
Minimal. I have insurance.
Purchase the offered insurance they give you.
Throw some welding blankets on top of it too.
Yeah. Well, so this is November 1st, so I guess we can...
I mean, like, when is Cobra Con? Where is Cobra Con?
Yeah, let's release the Kraken.
Let's at least a little bit about that. Is that?
So it is November 1st, and registration is live with early bird discount. We are super excited this year from the standpoint we have removed food being mandatory. So both breakfast and lunch are add-on options. And what this has allowed us to do is our early bird pricing is $199 for a full event ticket.
And if you're going to like PGI, I mean, for a 3-day event, I mean, this is amazing, right? Because you go to PGI, what is it, like $450 for a week? So, I mean, you're essentially getting the same price as PGI. And in my opinion, if you're a pirate, like if you are really into pyro musicals, like this is the event to go to. Like this probably is more meaningful than even PGI. Again, not that PGI is not good. PGI is more designed around the builder. So this is the event you want to go to. Even if you are not a Cobra user, please try and get out to this event because it's just a great event to go to. Sorry to interrupt you, but
no, I mean, you look at it even from a standpoint of, the sponsors that we're going to have providing delivery of product. Right? Yeah. So, KM, Spirit
discount you're going to be getting,
American, Redco, like, I make it worth an event ticket every year I go out just by picking up product.
Yeah, right.
Saving, especially, even non-pyro, Credco racks, that shipping kills you, with the weight and size of those things.
Yeah.
So make it worth it, just from that standpoint alone. And then one thing I really set out to do with the sessions this year was to create a session lineup that even non-Cobra shooters would want to come learn, because it doesn't, a lot of these techniques, a lot of these, design philosophies, it doesn't matter what system you're using. Sure. Yeah. I want you to use Cobra. I'm a Cobra user. I'm a Cobra employee.
Right.
But, there's so much more than just how you're firing them off, but, your design and your setup technique. And so that was really one thing I set out was to create a session lineup that would invite everyone to be a part of.
Yeah. Well, since we're talking about, oh, go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no, obviously, I mean, yeah, that's a kind of good point that you make there. That it's not just for Cobra people, right? Like you guys are trying to make this all encompassing for. It's just that it's a pyro event for anybody, regardless of what system you're using or what you're using to shoot your fireworks. It's an event that you can go learn from, have some, and take away something from the event that's going to help you in your show, regardless of what system you're using.
Yeah, we absolutely we bill it as the shooter event of the year. Because it is geared around the individual shooter, the designer. Like you said, David, PGI is very much geared towards around the builder.
Correct.
And kind of the history of pyro in the U.S. And I love PGI. I mean, I've been
100%.
Been the last 2 years. Can't wait for next year as well. But it's a different level, and having these events cater to different sides of the industry really allows you to soak up just so much more rather than every event being the same. Yeah,
and I will say, like, in my opinion, Cobra is even more, like, Cobra Con is more laid back than PGI, because, you go to Cobra Con, you know when your classes are, you know when your demos are, you know when the time is to hang out. And you go to PGI, there's so much that they have to cram into that week that you're literally missing out on very important things because, maybe you're trying to attend class Z, so you're not able to go and learn how to build a shell or something like that. So,
yeah, and we're really particular about how, about how the trade show's set up. So each day, trade show will be from 9 to noon. And then the trade show area stays open later. So like finale, they always have people that they want to work with longer. So we leave that space open for them.
Yeah.
But, like a PGI, so many of the vendors, they want to attend a class as well, and so it allows them to be part of that as well. And then we have classes in the afternoon, and then you have time to grab something to eat before you head out to the shoot site. And then we have our networking party the first night. Everybody gets to spend time together, win some prizes, make some new friends, and get to know other people in the industry.
So kickoff party is April 10th, correct? In the evening.
So April 10th will be the kickoff party at the end of the day. And then 11th and 12th, we'll have shows both those nights. So April 10th through the 12th are the actual event days. Muncie, Indiana. We're back out there again this year. The convention center is really just laid out perfect.
Yeah, oh yeah.
For the event. Shoot site leaves a little something to be desired, but that's for you shooters.
Well,
that's for you shooters to work around to provide us with a great show.
Typical event planner.
Yeah,
you guys figure it out.
But
you can slop in the mud. I'm not.
Yeah, the convention center is really just laid out great, especially if you get a room at the host hotel. The link for the discounted room rates will go live today as well. So I highly recommend if you're coming out, the experience is so much better if you stay in the host hotel, because during the first network party the first night, but every night after the shows, somebody is hosting in the hotel restaurant.
Yeah.
And so being able to just pop down there for a little bit, walk back up to your room is really invaluable.
And when the party's done there, it usually goes somewhere else until...
Nah, I don't think we're going to do that this year.
No? Just going to close her down?
Yeah, I'm not going. I mean, I'll tell you that. I'm not being a babysitter this year.
If the first night networking party, is there a type of theme or anything that kind of happens during that event, or what kind of event is that for the networking?
Yeah. So the last 2 years, the last 2 years, and it is on the agenda. So that hasn't been completely settled what it's going to be, but the last 2 years, and it is getting high reviews to do it again, is a casino night. So a local entertainment company comes in, sets up casino games. You get $500 in chips to start the evening, and you play blackjack, poker, roulette, craps. And at the end of the night, you trade in your tokens for tickets for a drawing, and then a litany of Cobra gift cards, American Wholesale gift cards, Spirit of 76 gift cards, Credco gift cards. There's all kinds of prizes to be given out. So it's a really good time. Everybody loosens up and gets to talking, and just really has a great time. And then several people get to leave with prizes. It's the one downside. My first year as more of an attendee than a worker, I did get to win a prize, and now I'm like, I don't really get to get a ticket, so I just give mine away. Give mine away to other people.
So Donnie, I mean, I know you were at Sky Wars this year for the Pyro Hangout. So
Yeah.
I would say it's that on even more of like just a like hang out and have fun level.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like being able to play poker, and some people dress up, some people, you just wear whatever, and that's fine too. It's just a lot of fun to hang out, no pressure to really do anything except just have fun. So, yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like fun.
And then every night after the shows, I mean, it's another hangout party. Everybody last year, even after the last night, and it kind of tails off each night. People get a little tired and less people show up. But I mean, even till the last night last year, I mean, there's still a handful of people hanging out at, I think, 3 a.m. You just kind of don't want the event to end.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Another thing I was going to ask is, you mentioned about the event ticket having the non-food option that was $199. So what other options are there for event tickets, as far as that might include food, or if you want to purchase food? What are some of those costs and options?
Yeah, so those will be additional add-ons, and unfortunately, we just have to hop on the website because I don't have the prices in front of me right now. But you can add on breakfast, you can add on lunch, you can add on both. You'll also be able to add on the PGI class if you want to take the display operator course. That'll be an option as well. You'll be able to add on the 2025 custom R2 faceplate.
Right.
Which is very, very nice. You'll find that there on the website as well. So hop on there and check it out.
I was going to ask if that was going to be happening.
Yeah, that is definitely happening. Kind of it has certainly become a tradition. That's probably the number one question I've gotten asked is, hey, it's going to be a faceplate.
Is there going to be the limited edition R3?
Might have seen that faceplate, maybe. Show me. Did we see that? Did I see that faceplate?
Yeah, I think.
Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Everybody will see it by the time this goes live. So
a very Americana and just awesome looking Cobra.
I would say if you like last year's, this is pretty close to being up to par with that one. Last year's though was awesome.
Yeah. So last year's so I actually had one made. Last year's was nice enough. I took off my own custom one and put last year's on. Yeah. And they're really nice. They're aluminum. They're rugged. So they're definitely worth the add on to add. Go ahead and pre-order those so you can pick it up when you get there.
Yeah.
Don't have to worry about them selling out or forgetting. You get to the last day and like, oh, I didn't get that. And we've already closed up shop.
Yep.
Kind of thing. But yeah, so you'll be able to add those on. We'll still have guest tickets as well. So if you have a spouse coming and she's not interested in, doing the classes and things like that, but wants to attend the shows with you and come to the networking party, they're welcome to have a guest pass as well. So, we're looking just to make it a more inviting, more inclusive opportunity to get more people out there. And that's one of the big reasons, not only the price point with the food, but it also removes the limitation of a max attendance for the event as well. So before, you're limited to 400 at this convention center because that was the most that they could serve food for. And so then that also includes vendors and our own employees that are there. So we're really capped more around 350 attendees.
Yeah.
Which we butted right up against that last year. So this year, we expect more people with the lower price point, but we're also able to handle more people with removing the food.
Yeah. Awesome.
So if you want the food add-on, you should add that on before that. That will have a limit on it, right?
Yes, that'll have a limit on it, and also it has to be turned in before the event, so it won't be able to be add on at the event because we have to let them know in advance what our numbers is on that. But there are some great restaurants around Muncie, Indiana.
There are.
Well, and the restaurant attached to the hotel has really good burgers. Might catch me there eating even though I have food.
Yeah. So I guess let's start it out. So trade show. Who all is going to be there at the trade show?
Gosh, you want me to go through the whole lineup?
Yeah, we're spilling the beans.
All right. Let me pull up. All right. So sponsors. All right, we have Finale, American Wholesale, NCI, Spirit of 76, Craig Cove, Dominator, RKM, Chung May, White Knights Fireworks, Rhythm Pyro Podcast, Freedom First Fireworks, Great Lake Mortar Racks, J&M Pyro, MJG, Showtime FX, Acme Firework Company, Coppersmith, Ryder Insurance, Pyro Shows. And then, of course, you all will be there.
We will.
Representing.
We will.
Yeah, so a couple new additions from last year's, if you've been out there. We have a couple more still in the wings. Raccoon and Wenda as well. They have also confirmed.
Awesome.
They just haven't confirmed how much they want to do while they're there. So I didn't have them in the finalized in my finalized list in front of me. And we got multiple. We have, let's see here. Let me count them up. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Yeah, we got 7 others that are in talks right now. Likely,
awesome.
I won't put them out there just yet, but likely see them populate on the website between now and February. You know, it is kind of early for a lot of people to kind of be planning for next year.
I will say, like, I don't mean to interrupt you, but like, as an event goer, Jonathan, I really appreciate like you jumping on this stuff early, because, and we'll get into the reason why, you know, Donnie and I are really thankful, but I like knowing that the musical that I'm working on is not me finding out just a couple months in advance. Like, I have time to work on it and prep it. So yeah, because of that, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And you know, you asked how I ended up here, and that was one of the things Dan and I set out to accomplish when we first started meeting early in the summer about this was, hey, let's get as much locked down as we can when we launch. One, it looks like it gets people more excited. You know, hey, early bird ticket sale plus I already see this entire lineup. So we still have, you know, a few sponsors out there that we're hoping will be part of the event, but sessions are completely locked down.
Awesome.
Shows are 95% locked and ready to go. So we know exactly what we have coming up.
Yeah.
And that's going to really allow us to focus on fine tuning everything leading up to the event as well. So it should be a really nice launch today. I'm really looking forward to seeing the feedback, see how fast the hotel sells out. I can't stress that enough. If you're thinking of coming,
stay at the host hotel, please.
Host hotel and book.
It's amazing.
Book today.
Yeah.
Because it will sell out very quickly.
Yeah, it will.
Very quickly. I mean, that's just all there is to it.
Yep.
It'll be gone fast.
Yeah, most definitely. And then I guess let's build some anticipation. Let's hit classes. What classes can we expect?
All right. Classes. Now that's a list.
Do we have dates on classes? Like, can we go like day by day already?
I do not have the day by day list, and
okay, we know you're working on your own time, so we appreciate it.
Yeah, it won't. Well, actually, have Dan putting that together as we speak.
Okay,
and it's subject to change a little bit.
For sure. Understandable.
Needs pop up. Like, I just got an email from one of our presenters yesterday, said, hey, flight for me to get home is a whole lot cheaper on Saturday. Could my class be Thursday or Friday?
Yeah.
So, you know, we're going to work around that the best that we can. So, holy smokes, classes. That's a list. All right.
It's a good one. I'm excited.
Yeah, hang on. Let me pull up. I'm just going to buy some dead air time here. There we go. Let me pull this up. All right, so let's start off with sessions that everybody's going to be familiar with, ones that we've had in the past. So a lot of these are going to be around the Cobra system itself. So Cobra Mesh, understanding its importance, enhancing your equipment with control panel. A Pyro Boot Camp. This is everybody's favorite. And this is another one I'll tell you, if you are interested in boot camp, and sign up for it early. There are limited spots for boot camp. So if it's something you're interested in, make sure you jump on that as soon as you register. Go ahead and sign up for that. And really put it out there that it is really designed for the intro pyro. So don't be afraid. You think you don't have enough experience to be a part of that. It's absolutely geared for all levels, but really to get people to make that leap into designing their own power musicals. So jump right into that. Don't be afraid. We have a great team that's hands-on, isn't going to let you go wrong. Feel free to jump into that. Power music creation from concept to execution. I think we might know the person teaching that. Cobra troubleshooting, overcoming common issues. Should you use slats? Intro to Cobra. A fan favorite, Fuel Mine Fireballs from Bill Corbett, the Fireball
Mr. Bill.
Dude. Mr. Fireball Dude himself.
Always exciting to have him there.
Yep. And it's exciting to have him locked in early.
Yeah.
We actually picked him up late last year. He had another commitment, but then that fell through, so he was able to still make it out. SMPTE, when to use it, what it is, and how to use it. Intro to Finale 3D. Igniters, fundamentals, and best practices. Adding DMX fireworks shows with Finale 3D. DMX 101. Insurance, what you need to know. And we are bringing back our industry expert panel from last year as well. So
awesome. Hosted by Pyro Talk.
Hosted by Pyro Talk. And we will have Ed from Dominator, who's also the VP of NFA. AJ Burns, who is newly elected first vice president of PGI and board member of APA. And then Pyro Santa, Scott Smith will be on there, and Sabrina from American Fireworks. So
awesome.
A little bit of everything in the industry, from safety to purchasing to regulations. We're going to have a great lineup there.
So if you're listening to this podcast, obviously, reach over to Pyro Talk, and I know I'm guessing he's gonna air that, probably not live, but he'll air it as one of his episodes, and then you can still attend that class. So I know I wasn't able to sit in on it last year, but I heard it from his podcast, and it was really good. I'm really kind of sad I missed it.
Yeah. So it was a really great panel. I missed it live as well. I think I was busy setting up for one of my classes that I was doing last year. So I'm really interested to have it back. There's going to be a lot of questions with proposed changes that are coming to the industry, and how that's going to affect the shooter. That's just going to be a must listen to every year, because it's constantly changing. Then we'll jump into our list of classes that either have new presenters or significantly updated agenda for the class. So
are you wanting to announce like who's teaching those?
We'll roll.
However you want to do it, brother.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, then let me back up. And Power Musical Creation is going to be hosted by yours truly there, David.
Yes, sir.
So he will be teaching that. The majority of the rest of those are going to be Zach and Scott. And then let's see, we got Bill doing the fireballs, Jeff from MJG Igniters, Ryder Insurance doing the insurance class, Drew and Will from Finale doing those classes. So then Cobra Show Creator. So how's the Show Creator class new or changed? If you haven't hopped on Show Creator lately and tried out the new beta, it is a completely redesigned. While a lot of things look similar, it has been rebuilt from the ground up, and a lot of new features with 7.1 to utilize within that. And I'll be teaching that class. Audio editing basics, from music selection to track creation. That's going to be Miles Kieft, owner of Precision Pyro out of Michigan. Intro
to that one. Yeah.
Intro to Ignite, consumers and retailers. Will be hosted by Scott. Keynote. So there's going to be a new announcement. I'll say that from Scott that you'll want to be there to listen to.
Excited to hear that. Yeah.
And also the official debut of the R3 will be part of that as well.
So it will be there. We will. In theory,
Scott,
I have heard it.
Scott has said that on multiple platforms.
Yep.
So I feel safe in repeating it. But yes, it will be there in all its glory for you to have it hands on and get to check it out. So let's jump into new classes for 2025. So Angles, creating shapes, letters, and other advanced design techniques. Will be hosted by Bo, AJ, and Jamie from the Rhythm Power podcast. Master Single Shots with Finale 3D. That's a new course from Finale, and that'll be hosted by Drew. We will have the new PGI 1.4 Pro safety course offered as well.
Will you? Okay.
Audio editing advance, mastering professional soundtrack techniques, be hosted by Bo. Altitude, enhancing displays with lift towers and platforms by none other than Donnie Toms.
Wait, what? I'm teaching a class?
It's the only way we could get you there.
Get me there, right?
Show psychology, enhancing your display with colors, tempo, and effects. Be Travis Kramer.
Go KCAP.
McGruber, safely adapting to on-site challenges.
That sounds proprietary.
Man, I didn't ask for permission. So that'll be hosted by one of the lead shooters from American Fireworks. Still waiting for them to tell me which one they're going to send me. But between the two options, they have almost 3,000 shows combined over 30 years. So either one of them will be great to provide insight to challenges you might run into showing up to a shoot site, difficulties with AHJs, weather, and so on. Just a litany of experience.
And being from Ohio, they sure know how to deal with the AHJ.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Ohio or Illinois is worse. I actually think that Ohio is pushing it. Like, yeah, they're not fun to deal with.
Yeah. Illinois is not that fun either.
No, they're really not.
No, they're just not. I don't want to talk about my Illinois experience. From backyard shooting to owning a display company, Devin Vargas from Deep South Fireworks.
Awesome.
Cremora Fireballs, techniques for safe and impressive coffee flames. That will be Jason Rude from Pyro Talk.
Cool.
And then Pyro Clubs, what they are and how to get involved. And that will also be Travis Kramer.
Awesome.
Good deal.
So quite the list. I mean, I feel like I just read a bunch to everybody.
And that's fine. I mean, if you're watching this, play back. If you're listening, play back. Like, all those are really good. I mean, I know most of those names are, if you're on any forums or any any listening platforms or on Facebook, you see these names. So they're in the industry hardcore. They know what they're talking about. And to me, like, knowing who's going to be there, that actually helps, granted, I'm going regardless, but that would make my decision easier because maybe somebody is somebody that I look up to, and I would be able to get a sit-in on their class or get to meet them for the first time, or a number of reasons to go, right? So, yeah, looking forward to what I can get into, and yeah, it's going to be great.
Yeah, it's a really great lineup. I mean, thankful to you guys, thankful to all of my session hosts out there. Everybody was super eager. I think I was able to land everyone that I set out to have in the lineup. And so I didn't have to go back to the drawing board on anything. We have multiple Sky Wars competitors. We have multiple Sky Wars winners. We have, just years of experience and all different parts of the country as well. Different experiences, different landscapes that they're working on. It's really a great lineup. And like you said, you can look up any of these guys. Donnie's teaching a class on lifts. Let me see what he knows about shooting. Okay, that's pretty cool. I wonder how he goes about doing that, or shapes and parabolics. Like, you look at that PGI show that AJ and Nathan did, and I mean,
amazing.
Angles were just perfect. And so, you're not just showing up to a class of a topic you want to know more about and have no idea whether this person knows what they're talking about. We have a great lineup of guys that have tons of experience in the industry.
Yeah.
So I was going to dive back onto the boot camp just a little bit. You were kind of talking about, and kind of get an idea maybe of like what's involved in participating in the boot camp. Like, like what's provided to somebody who wants to do that. They got to bring their own equipment or their own supplies. Like, what do you get if you be involved in boot camp to be able to make that successful?
Yeah, so just show up with yourself. I do recommend bringing some work boots, something you don't mind getting muddy. Last year I think we had several people make a quick run to Walmart because they did not show up with proper footwear. So muck boots are, I mean, if you're getting into pyro, you just need a pair of muck boots. PGI, I didn't have room in my suitcase. We all made a run to Fleet Farm, rolled out there like we were being sponsored by muck boots, I think.
Yeah.
It's just something you need to have in your toolbox. But no, everything's going to be provided for you. So product is once again sponsored and donated by Spirit of 76, same as we had last year. And I'll give a shout out to them. They did a great job of providing quality product.
Like and a nice selection too.
Yeah. Like you guys were talking about earlier about getting too much, like maybe in the blind pyros, having too much product. Spirit of 76, I thought hit the nail right on the head of enough for them to work with, but they weren't just throwing things up, and a lot of quality. I mean, they provided a ton of their Proline Italia comments and mines, provided some of them flew a little too far on one side of the field, but just really great quality product for these guys to get their hands on and use. So
yeah,
they're providing the product. Craigco provides the single shot racks. So they're able to get their hands on the best single shot racks in the business.
Yeah.
And then we have instructors. So Tyler Wheat and his team, I'd name more of them, but I'll leave somebody out and I'd feel terrible for that, but has an entire boot camp team that are going to be hands-on with them, making sure everybody's being safe, showing them how the equipment works. And Drew from Finale gives them a quick class on how to use Finale 3D, helps them get their soundtrack loaded and get them started, and then make sure they export it correctly and get it loaded into the remotes. But you really just show up ready to work, show up ready to learn and work is all you need. Come with a good team attitude. You don't have to bring any equipment. Pokes, all that stuff is provided. All the tools you need is going to be provided. So you don't have to worry about showing up with anything but just a good attitude and ready to learn.
So literally just no experience at all. You just walk right in and you just learn how to do a show.
Yeah. And we'll have people that do have more experience be part of it as well, and that's fine. As long as everybody's being a team player and not trying to take over. We don't mind people with more experience that maybe have outgrown it.
Okay.
But I really want people that don't have any experience at all. They're like, that's beyond me. Like, no, this is for you. This is to give you that opportunity to work out some of those first show bugs when trying to do something like this when you have a team around you.
If you want to do this, do you need to come with a team, or do you guys put people in teams? Like, how's that kind of work?
Yeah, so you'll be allowed to pick your team beforehand. So if you know other people that are coming, or if you have your own group of people that have registered, when we open that up, as we get a little bit closer, you'll be able to go on and join a team together. Now, if for some reason, like we had a couple gentlemen from Venezuela last year, and they really need to be on a team together, but when they got to join in, there was only one spot open here, one spot open there. They came to us and we worked it out, got them on the same team. So we can definitely handle things like that. 2 years ago, we had an entire team from Jordan come over. So Cobra Con's an international event as well. Last year, I think I spoke to people from 8 different countries.
I think so, yeah.
Nice.
And
That's really cool.
as far away as New Zealand.
Yeah.
And the guys from Venezuela, I mean, you talk about dedication to the craft. If you're not aware, you cannot have Venezuela as your point of origin to come into the country. So they had to hop flights and declare new places of origin just to be able to come to the event. Crazy. It was like, wow, you guys did all that to come to a pyro event? Like that's crazy.
So now I guess the next step is talk about these show lineups, right? I guess some shows. There's 2 nights of shows, right?
Yep, 2 nights of shows. All right. Let me get that pulled up.
And then we'll get onto the new event too after the shows, I think.
So Friday night,
the anticipation.
Keep building the anticipation. All right, well, let me start with Saturday again. So that way that'll be the last thing I say about Friday. So Saturday night,
Yeah.
we will have a daytime anthem sponsored by Dominator, fired by RKM.
Nice.
We'll have the Saturday night boot camp shows. Young May will have the show following that, scripted by Nathan Dexter. And then Brian Craigco will have a show to lead us into our closing show, designed by two guys that I might know.
This picture is killing me.
David and Donnie.
Yes, sir. So, yeah, you've heard it here. The closing show is going to be an RKM show, but it will be completely designed and scripted and shot by the Pyro Unleashed podcast. So we're really looking forward to being able to work together. And Jonathan contacted me and wanted RKM to script the show. And I mean, Donnie's not really, I guess officially a part of RKM, but I mean, he is now, and like it or not.
I have a hat and a shirt from PGI that proves otherwise.
But so we're gonna be doing the closing show, and I think both of our classes, if all goes to plan, both of our classes will have some incorporating aspect in the show. So if you've been listening to what both of our classes are, maybe that'll give you a little insight as to what we're looking at. And yeah, I know we've been throwing around some music ideas, and if you're a part of the Discord, which if you're not, you should be, we've been asking you guys, the listeners, some song ideas. We didn't really let the cat out of the bag as to why, but yeah, hopefully we can get some song ideas from you guys and get a song on, or get a Pyro musical. So looking forward to that.
We're just going to play the Pyro Unleashed theme song over and over again for 10 minutes, right? That's what we're going to do. That's the plan.
The intro and then the outro, and then the intro and the outro.
We're really excited for the Saturday. I mean, the entirety of the Saturday night lineup should be a great time. Excited to have you guys back out. One big advantage is you've been there the last 2 years, so you know how it lays out. You know the logistics of it. We are looking at, we're going to still be on the fairgrounds, but we're changing the actual shoot field itself to
and as a shooter, again, thank you. The mud sucks.
Trying to make it more weatherproof, trying to just make it a little more friendly, and give a little better sight picture to the audience as well, so they can enjoy it a little bit more. But really excited that we already have that locked down. You have plenty of time to spitball ideas and stress about
some manufacturers on some product, hopefully,
whether it's going to come in or not. But really looking to that show lineup. And so then Friday night, to back up, we have of course, kick off the night with the national anthem. That is the one show spot we don't have filled just yet. We have somebody that we're hoping will accept the invitation to script that, but unfortunately they have not yet. So well wishes on that.
I mean, we can pressure him to accept if you want to call him out. We can hey, you need to get back to Jonathan and accept.
I don't know if I want to turn the public pressure on him just yet. Yeah, maybe in a week it'd be like, hey guys, drop this on the next episode. I need some help. But NCI will be doing a demo Friday night, and that will kind of be the prelude to their open house. If your listeners don't know, NCI, Great Grizzly Fire Factory, they are actually headquartered right there in Muncie, Indiana. Their warehouse is just about a mile from the convention center. So they'll be hosting a open house on Saturday. So check out their demo on Friday and then get to walk in right to the warehouse and buy all the things that you love to look.
Yep.
Then Friday night boot camp. So the boot camp shows will be split up 8 each night. Help that flow a little bit. And then the new event, which will also be a show, is the inaugural Cobra Con Class C competition.
All right.
Heard it here first.
You heard it here. Yeah.
You heard it here. So as Dan and I were discussing, we do build this as the shooter event. So we're like, hey, what could we add something additional for the shooter? And it's like a competition. And so we are very grateful. American Wholesale is going to be the featured sponsor of that event and provide a $1,000 credit to each of the competitors.
Yeah.
And that'll be valid with their elite tier discount. And Finale just jumped on board this week. They will provide free licensure or upgrade to current license for the competitors and the white glove experience with Finale to help.
Awesome. That's really awesome.
To help them design their show. So
yeah,
they're not. They're very clear. They're not going to give you any design tips. They are going to give you the white glove concierge treatment on getting you set up with it, upgrading your package, showing you how to utilize the rack layout features to help you with your setup as well. So anybody who is interested in the competition, you simply need to send me an email at jmccormick@Cobra Firing Systems Pyro Bio experience, any sample videos that you have of any shows that you have put on. And again, it's open. It's an open entry to everyone.
Yeah.
I think Mike Allen's one of the best examples of that. He went from a small backyard shoot to doing blind pyro to winning Sky Wars. Just boom, boom, boom. If you have the skill to design, send us your information, and we will announce the competitors January 10th.
So January 10th. Okay.
So what is the deadline for them to submit?
New Year's Eve, December 31st.
Okay. Very good.
And then we'll announce the winners January 10th, get you quickly set up with Sabrina over in American to get your account and credit set up. Now, one thing to keep in mind, the sponsored product won't be delivered until the event. It'll be delivered on Wednesday the 9th, just to ensure nobody's making off with it.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're welcome to add additional product. The $1,000 is not a cap. It is not a limit. Competition rules will be 5 positions across a 210-foot front. Had to give it some constrictions. Just, David, the shoot site is not overly large.
Correct. Yeah, I know we've been kind of going back and forth on the layout of the field and trying to work through that.
I originally started with 3. David told me I should allow as many fronts as they want, just limit the total width. And I was like, no, I'm okay, 5. I'll go to 5.
Yeah.
So
5. I think 5's a good number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do
for
a
that
lot of things with 5.
Yeah.
And a 5-minute time limit. And one thing I really wanted to encourage with how we set up the rules and the sponsorships is to draw out that creativity. I don't want to see 3 shows that just empty their savings account into it and put a bunch of product up in the air. I want to see the creativity, what you can do with 5 positions, what you can do with that time limit, how you can get creative with it.
As you're saying that, I don't mean to interrupt you, but the more I watch musicals, less is sometimes more.
Absolutely.
I love high Q count shows. I know Donnie and I both have done 4,000 plus Q music. Well, I guess 3, 4, somewhere in there, 1,000 Q musicals, and they're a lot of fun. But are they always, do they always get the point across? No. I think they can cluster the sky and make it look just, sky puke. So to go along with what you're saying, yeah, just try and stick in that $1,000. I mean, understandable. I mean, I'm a pyro too. If I was in your shoes, I would be adding pyro, for special things. So
I mean, you can buy a lot of 20 millimeter effects for $1,000.
Yeah, I think we were just talking about that.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah, that would be a lot. And then first place will get a $1,000 Cobra credit. Second place, $500 Cobra credit, and third participation trophy will get $250.
All right. So if you're one of the final 3 that are picked, you essentially automatically win something for doing
You
it,
automatically get something.
Yeah.
I'm not a big participation trophy kind of guy, but it's a lot to come out and put on.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Like that. Both, financial. I mean, you're going to be coming out of pocket, ticket, trip out there, and so a little thank you, because we are looking to enhance the event with this competition as well.
Yeah. So then I guess that kind of leads to my next question is like, when you're submitting your application, do they also need to submit their ticket of proof as well?
Actually, a really good question. Yeah, I've been kind of back and forth on that of, do they have to, no, I mean, once I pick you, I'm gonna make sure that you have your ticket,
Yeah.
kind of thing. But I mean, we also, I'm not gonna hold people down to send me an entry, buy a ticket, and if that's the only, if that's the only reason you would buy a ticket, then I think I haven't done my job as the session and sponsor manager.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I got a feeling some people, might not want to enter because they're not going to want to miss, some of the things we got going on. So, that'll be a little bit of a difficulty as well. But
it is a catch-22 to want to be able to do it. Yeah, I mean, knowing that I've done shows and I run the RKM trade show booth, like it is a lot to do. I mean, I did an anthem and the closing show last year. Like I was in charge of those, and then in the middle of the day, I had to go and teach a class. So yeah, I mean, it is a lot to handle. So I, for one, will tell you, don't overburden yourself with, plan accordingly. And your team can make or break that too.
Yeah, it's, I love being busy at these things, but it's one of those, it's like, will I ever get to attend one of these not working?
Yeah, right.
So, probably not, but yeah, it can take a lot out of you, but yeah, super excited for that.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see that come to fruition.
Really excited to see what people will put together, and hopefully something really nice.
Yeah.
Kind of on the same lines you just mentioned of like working the show. Now, is there an opportunity for people to get involved or volunteer or to help out with the show?
Mm-hmm.
Is in any way while they're there? Or are you guys actively looking for help?
I mean, that's up to each of the show designers. We're pretty, as far as the boot camp goes, we do have a team, a set team for that, that handles that. And then some of the sponsors also chip in on that. So, from our standpoint, that's really the only one we fully control. Other than that, it'll be up to each of the show designers. If they want to enlist extra help, highly recommend anybody who is selected for the competition to make sure that you have a team that can help you get it off. And if you don't already have a team, just start reaching out on the Facebook group. There's going to be a lot of great attendees. We're looking at a goal of having 600 attendees this year.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are willing to, like, hey, they want to come be part of a possible winning show.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I would also tell people who don't have the pyro community team built already, don't be afraid to still put in. I mean, you're going to be able to find help, without a doubt. You'll be able to find help.
Come over to the Pyro Unleashed Discord and let us know you need some help, and we'll find some people for you. Yeah, I'm sure some people on our Discord, they might be looking to help out. I mean, it's stuff like that, opportunities to network.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's one of, like, the big things maybe a lot of new people don't know. Like, I mean, let's just use PGI shows, for example. How many different people did lent mods to that show?
Too many to count.
Yeah.
I think there was 10, 12 plus.
Yeah. A lot of people look at something like that and be like, well, I'll never be able to do that. I don't have $100,000 worth of Cobra.
You don't
mods.
need to.
It was like, neither did RKM, you know?
Exactly.
Right.
Now, if you are borrowing mods, make sure you know whether they're quick plug or standard wire.
That is very important, I will say. First-hand experience.
But yeah, I mean, people are out there all the time willing to help. Is one thing about the Cobra community at large.
Yeah,
that's really awesome. Is you can just hop on the page and people come jump at the opportunity for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And to Donnie's point or question earlier, Pyro Boot Camp, you don't need to bring anything. You want to be in the competition, you got to bring everything.
Yeah. Any other new aspects to Cobra Con this year that maybe people didn't see last year?
Other than the new classes, the competition, I mean, how much more new stuff do you want, David? Jeez.
I mean, we're here for the people, right? There's only so much you can pack into 2.5 days, too. Yeah.
Nah, I mean, with the new classes, a couple of new sponsors. One thing that gets missed, it's not really talked about. I mentioned Acme Fireworks, Pyro shows, Jane. So, it's not just vendors that are sponsors, but also show companies, display companies, and they're there to recruit new shooters.
Correct.
So, if you're a shooter that's just doing your backyard thing and your dream is to be on a display company crew and haul 100-pound racks around, you know what? This is a great opportunity to network with companies. I mean, they're a sponsor of the event, and they come out just to find new shooters.
Yeah.
So
the majority of the week, that's where you'll find me. So,
yeah. And that's huge. And it's all about networking. And hey, just because the company isn't headquartered near where you live doesn't mean that they don't have shows where you live. I think, in West Virginia, I think we have like a company, but we really don't. I just found out Casabella shoots the fireworks for our minor league baseball team, just 20 miles from my house. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Had no idea. I knew it wasn't the local guy, just judging by the product quality and setup.
The display quality, yeah.
But yeah, I got a hold of somebody that used to work marketing for him, and I was like, "Hey, who shoots that?" And he's like, Casabella. And I was like, "All right." Had no idea. American shoots a lot of shows in West Virginia, and I never knew it until I started working with them. And so, just because somewhere isn't headquartered right by where you live doesn't mean they don't have shows where you're at, and depending on their needs, might have you travel.
Yeah.
So,
and fireworks are not just the week of the 4th of July.
There's a lot that it's wild how many shows there are. Like, yeah. More than half of your display business is packed into
a week,
into 10 days tops. Yeah. It's just unreal. And the next 2 years are going to be even
worse.
Even bigger.
Yes, yeah.
So we're into 3 days.
2025, let's see, the 4th falls on what?
Friday.
And then a Saturday.
And then a Saturday for the 250th.
Yeah.
That's going to be every city. If they don't go bonkers for that, I mean, if display companies don't have to ship in 50% extra containers for the 250th anniversary of the country, I'm going to be disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and if you're somebody out there who's looking to have a show put on for your city or something like that, I mean, like, you need to be booking that now for 2026 because 2026 openings are going to fill up very, very quickly. And they're going to be a premium price on those.
We're already placing orders.
Yeah.
Or getting ready to start placing orders for the 26 season.
Yeah.
So that's what China's already expecting. So it's, you got to get your orders in and be there, be square, I guess. So
I'm real excited for what the shows are in a year and a half time. So there should be some doozies.
So Jonathan, you want to give us a plug for the Cobra Con website?
Yeah, most definitely.
So Cobra Con 2025, and it's simply Cobra. Hang on. See, you messed me up. I ain't got it handy. Yeah, Cobra-Con 2025. So hop on there, get your tickets. Like I said, early bird $199, and book your rooms. Absolutely. I know I've said that 10 times already. If you want to stay in the host hotel, you need to book today. No. Do not wait. And CobraCon.com, and 2025 is going to be our biggest and best year yet.
Yes, sir. I am looking forward to it.
Hopefully you're healthy by then.
Hopefully you're healthy by then.
I should be healthy.
Is there a deadline on that early bird? Like, how long is the early bird good for?
Running early bird through the end of the year.
Okay.
So,
okay. So people have a little bit of time to think about it.
Yeah, a little bit of time. And same with the entry to the Pyro contest. Get that emailed over to me, jmccormick at cobrafiringsystems.com. And all that is detailed on the website as well. So I will be spending Christmas vacation sifting through what I imagine will be a lot of submissions.
Yeah. Yep. So, all right. Well, I think that's that. Do you have any questions for us, Jonathan?
All right, you guys got your classes, your PowerPoints all set up? Ready to
Mine
go?
is pretty much done. Actually, yeah, I pretty much have it all done. So
He's just going to use the same one from last time, probably.
no, I've edited it. I promise. I've edited it.
Yeah, I'll make mine a couple days before I leave.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Not that I expect you all to remember all the sessions I mentioned, but was there a session that you all plan to attend?
All of the above.
Mine.
Sorry, David, I can't show prep. I'm attending sessions.
Okay.
Hey, there's plenty of time to show prep in the evenings.
I'm kind of hoping to have pretty much all the show prep done by the time we arrive on site, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, with a smaller field, hopefully you can fit it in one truck.
We'll see. Smaller field. There'll be a lot more on that field, I think, this year than there ever has been.
Yeah. Definitely.
Not as opposed to last year, maybe not. Last year was pretty tight.
Well, yeah, because we packed everything. Everything got shot in one night. Fingers crossed, weather's a little bit better for 2025.
Yeah.
Hopefully, with the changes on the shoot site, that'll alleviate some of that problem.
I think so.
Drainage is a lot better. The side we're moving it over to, we also have the roadway that goes through there, and so I think we'll be able to get majority of the shows, not the boot camp shows, but the majority of the shows set up actually on pavement
on the road. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Nice.
don't have to worry about the conditions of the field itself.
Yep.
All right. So check out the Cobra-Con 2025 website and
Yes, sir.
get some more information. Again, they'll have all the classes, everything on the website that people can look and see and get all that information as well.
Yep. You'll be able to fill it out, and then be able to sign up for notifications. And if you got any questions, feel free to reach out to the Cobra team, and we'll help you out with that.
All right.
Sweet.
Ready to hit this Pyro News sponsored by Dominator?
The Pyro News, yeah.
All right. Hit this thing.
There we go. Pyro News, sponsored by Dominator Fireworks. First bit of Pyro News is this weekend is the Sooner Skyfire Showdown in Muskogee, Oklahoma. Shot down there this weekend. Go back and listen to episode number 12, where we had Danny Bonanno from Sooner Skyfire to talk about that. So we have more details. I know some of the shows have posted in our Discord looking for some help. So definitely, if you're going to be attending, definitely check out episode number 12. I hear you might need some rain gear this weekend.
That's what I was just looking at. It looks like it is going to be...
Planning to attend, take your muck boots and your ponchos because you might need them. But it is at an airstrip, so there might be some pavement around as well. So.
Yeah, hopefully there's at least enough drainage.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, I would hope so. So go check that out this weekend. Support them as well. So another Pyro News here. This was actually sent to us from Jonathan.
Yeah, it was.
A ticket booth up in flames after a high school football game. It's happened in West Virginia. Ticket booth at a Crawford Field caught fire late Friday night. According to Metro 911, the fire started after the St. Albans football team took on Lincoln County. Fire marshal said a crews arrived around 10:15 p.m. and crews arrived to a well-involved fire in the ticket booth. Aftermath of total loss says the fire was consistent with improper disposal of discharged consumer fireworks, which ignited and produced enough heat to ignite the surrounding combustibles, including the roof structure. So obviously they shot fireworks, and maybe they piled them up in by the building, and then they started fire, I guess. I mean,
yeah. So from what I was hearing from, it's actually my hometown. I don't live there anymore, but it's my hometown. What I was hearing is they shot some fireworks and threw them away in the trash cans by the building. And as we all know, cakes can smolder.
Yep.
And I wasn't there, so I can only attest to, yep, that's a possibility if that's where they threw them away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have doused them, but yeah.
So make sure you wet down and water down your old cakes before you put them in the trash can next to your structures and buildings, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Insurance won't be happy about that claim.
No.
We got another one here out of Seattle. Happened on October 28th. Seattle street takeover near Space Needle leads to fireworks attack on police. Some more bad name for fireworks here. Seattle police responded to two separate street takeover events this weekend, one near the Space Needle and the other near T-Mobile Park in Seattle. Illegal racers were shooting fireworks at the responding police. Court authorities police were called to monitor the street takeover near First Ave and South 9th Street, which is right in front of the T-Mobile Park. A large crowd had formed, and some among them tried to incite them to surround patrol cars. Authorities said the crowd moved, and when the police went to stop the vehicles involved in the street takeover, they sped off and appeared to have left the city. Seattle police responded to another illegal takeover. It happened just one block away, so they shut down the intersection and 3rd Avenue. Now looking through here, it says the illegal racers used publicly available Lime scooters as a means to barricade the road. In the video we obtained from this incident, you can see two separate times when someone throws a firework towards where the police are staged. The video shows explosions are within feet of officers. Again, this is how fireworks get banned. People using them in incidents like this and rioting. I mean, we've seen them in some of the rioting instances in the past, right? Where you have these big riots, people use fireworks in these riots, towards the police and stuff like that. And it's, again, another reason for these cities to ban fireworks. I mean, it's
unfortunately,
yeah, ruin it for everyone.
Right? Yeah.
Yep.
And then we have another one here that David found. A man gets 33 months in prison for throwing fireworks at police. Hey, during a protest. I mean,
sounds like a theme.
Yeah, this was in Rochester, New York. I don't know why you have fireworks in Rochester, New York, right, Jonathan? That was the thing.
Yeah. I didn't know they could get them.
Right. He threw an ignited firework at the police department officer in 2020 amid the protest following the death of Daniel Prude, which will serve 33 months in prison. So again, I mean, it's lit fireworks and other objects at police officers, some shining flashlights and lasers at officers. So again, I mean, it's kind of the same thing, these bad apples giving bad name to fireworks,
Yeah. And I don't think a lot of people realize the ramifications of that. Like, they think, oh, it's just a consumer firework. But when you turn and use it in that method, you've now turned it into an improvised explosive device used on law enforcement.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Correct.
It becomes a serious crime. Like that's
you're actually quite lucky you only got 33 months.
Yeah, probably.
Compared to the federal charges they could throw at you. So, yeah, that came up in a discussion. One of the groups, I don't know, a year or so ago, somebody was talking about, like, worried about a show being hacked. And it's like, well, at least in the United States, if you were to hack a show, now you've hacked a network and controlling explosives. Like, you just upgraded yourself to terrorism. So
correct.
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
Yeah, it becomes very nasty.
Yeah, and that's the thing. People don't realize the powerfulness of the explosion of fireworks, right? Like, especially, especially when you get into 1-3 stuff. I mean, people have no idea how dangerous 1-3 product can be, let alone, some of the 1-4 stuff. I mean, you get, some of the cakes that are overloaded with salutes, and you get some of these cancer shells that are salutes, and I mean, that stuff really is extremely dangerous and kill people. I mean, it's just, people just don't understand the power behind something like that.
Yeah. Especially like these instant salute cakes. Like, if one goes, like, that whole cake is going to detonate. I mean, even if it's not an instant, like, one goes and it is just sequential, it's just going to blow. Like, and it gets ugly.
And the crazy thing is you see a lot of these instances in places where fireworks are illegal to begin with.
Exactly.
It's the people they're breaking the law to get the fireworks, and then they're breaking the law by how they're using the fireworks towards people. And it's, it just shows you can put all the rules and all the laws you want in place, and people will still find a way to get around it.
Yes, it does.
One of these days we'll have some happy fireworks news one of these days, but
it'd be nice. Yeah.
But anyway,
all right.
Well, I want to thank Jonathan for
coming
on and
I appreciate you guys having me.
Spending 90 minutes of his time tonight with us. And his busy planning schedule and work and all the other stuff he's involved in.
Yeah. It's been a wild ride. Hopefully, get this phase completed and get a little bit of a breather.
I was gonna say, you're breathing a little bit better now.
Yep, a little bit.
Yeah.
Wrap up a few more. Most of the pressure is self-inflicted.
Yeah.
I set a goal for these things and set a timeline, and one of them was to have all the sessions and session hosts on the site with the launch. And so we've been able to do that. And big thanks to you guys as two of our hosts and all of my hosts out there. Can't wait to see what you guys put on. I think it's going to be just a great learning experience for everybody that's in attendance.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Well, if you're not already gone to, you can go to our website at pyrounleashedpodcast.com. We also have a merch store there. You can buy some swag and wear it to Cobra Con. And who knows, we might be doing a giveaway. I don't know. We haven't really talked much about that, but we'll see what we can do. It'd be nice to get several people wearing some Pyro Unleashed podcast swag on Saturday night for the closing show. And again,
Absolutely.
if you have not gotten onto the Discord, jump on there and throw some music ideas at us for the closing show. Your song might get played. We'll just have to see. Yeah, I think with that.
Yeah, all the links to all of our socials are in the post.
They are.
Go and watch the content and see all of our wonderful faces over on YouTube. If you're listening on Spotify or some other place, go check us out on YouTube where you can actually see us all interacting and having a good time together. So yeah. So again, want to thank you, Jonathan, for coming on, and
thank you guys.
Yeah.
All of our listeners for listening to us. This is going to put a wrap on episode 13, just in time for Halloween and stuff like that. So again, guys, go out there and have a good time, and we will see you all next time. And in the meantime, go out there and unleash your inner pyro.
This has been another episode of Pyro Unleashed. Come back each week for more industry insights, technical tips, and awesome pyro designs. Have fun out there, be safe, and as always, remember to unleash your inner pyro with us.